Let the battles begin!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the action started. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, there is no head strikes in youth MMA. That's why they have the headgear on. Let's give them the official introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and fighting in the blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen, started 4 feet, 3 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 72.2 ready pounds. As an amateur, he is undefeated, 3 wins with 0 losses. From Riverside, California, ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Luke the Rock Rivas. And his little opponent fighting across the cage on the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style fighter. Standing 4 feet, 7 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 70.8 solid pounds. His record tonight, 1 win with 1 defeat. Representing Cobra Kai and fighting out of Victorville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the mighty Roman, the Gladiator Balardi.
All right, so it looks like we've got The Rock versus the Gladiator on the left-hand side, fighting out of the blue corner. Of course, Luke Rock Rivas, and fighting out of the red corner, Roman Velarde, the Gladiator.
Youth MMA is developed with like a point must system where takedowns are worth points and clean body shots are worth points. From this takedown, there aren't actually slams are not normally allowed, so you get control points. Like right now, you have a takedown only because you've established your opponent on his back. So that is worth 2 points. Now, as you see them competing right now, Roman's continuing to get up, and Luke's doing a good job of trying to control. You can strike the body even on the ground, just not with the younger ages. The United States actually took first in the World Championships this year, and you can see that we have some of the best talent, especially in Southern California, let alone the United States. They won the Worlds. So we're both of these kids. I know Roman competed in the Nationals, and I know Luke is undefeated. So this is a great match for both of them, and it's all about getting experience. It's really where the amateurs should be. You can see him going for a reverse triangle right now. He's trying to stuff the arm and shove it in to lock it up. Right now, there's a score. It's not 10-point must. It's 2-0 because there was an established takedown with control. As you can see, in the end of the whole bout, it'll go into the collective scores rather than the scorecards. To me, it's more fair than mixed martial arts because the 10-point must system, you could destroy somebody 1 round and then lose the other 2 rounds, but you did more damage that 1 round. Those are big factors.
Well, that's a phenomenal overview because this is so new, the scoring system versus what we're used to seeing here.
Well, people like Ronda Rousey, Brian Ortega, they all started in this sport. Youth pancreation in the United States has been around for 20 years.
Well, and what's nice is these athletes get a chance to showcase their skills here at California Fight League and get to see, have their hometown see them compete. I think this is fantastic.
So each round is going to be 2 minutes with a 1-minute break. There's tournament brackets where they could just do 1 1-minute round or 1 2-minute round. There's regulations. This is actually sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission and federally has been worked. There's a guy, John Frank, who's put a lot of time. He's former U.S. Marine, U.S. Marshal, and he actually is the one that petitioned Congress to make this legal and showed this sport attribute where they're trying to build character and anti-bullying and give kids confidence and show them how to be. They don't care about winning or losing. They care about what type of person you are.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's a great system. So Luke able to really dominate Roman and stay on top. How did you score that, Joe, so we could sort of learn this?
He would have gotten 2 points for the takedown.
Okay.
There was no guard pass, so the score technically should be 2-0 right now. Roman kept on going for see, and that's the cool thing is like there is no judges' scorecards. It's strictly points. So unless they get the back, and when Roman turned back to his knees, they may have given points again for getting the back control. That often happens.
Well, that's great. It takes the subjectivity out of it.
Yeah, there's no maybe. And you would expect this kid, he's a kickboxer. He comes from USKO background, so you would expect a little bit of more striking, but you can see it's so important for the grappling, and they're developing these traits now. Both of these kids are very well rounded on their feet, but the grappling is so important, and if you could see it at this level, just imagine at the adult level.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. This whole card is UFC fighters, next level of competitors, and this is like almost the next level.
Right.
10 years from now, they're going to be beasts, as if they're not already.
Because they're learning and developing.
Beautiful sprawl there from The Rock. Is able to drive Velarde's head down into the canvas and now take his back.
So now there's no points until he's on his back. So even if Roman were to be on his knees, he wouldn't receive any points because he doesn't have top control. They get points for top control. And that has to be 3 seconds. So right now he's got an over-under around the back. There's still no points for a takedown because they're still engaged and no one's in a super dominant position. He's going for a Kimura. Oh my gosh. Armbar. Oh, he's got it.
He got him. He got him.
The fight's over.
And
once the arm is straightened.
Luke said he didn't tap.
It doesn't matter though. It's about the safety of the kids. That's the unfortunate thing. But you want to develop, like he can get fined and punished in the USFL if he is a bad, sportsman over it. But right now it's his emotions. And you see it at the youngest. You could say I didn't tap at all, but the risk of injury in this sport, out of all the kids that do it, is only 1.3. So safety is the top priority, because otherwise, what are we teaching these kids to be, brutes? So that is the important thing.
And that's how it should be. And they have so many years ahead of them to work themselves into a
By
position.
the time they turn amateur, they're going to have 50 fights each. And they're going to fight a guy that's 0-0, and they'll see why this was about it. And the head trauma. There's no head trauma because there's no head strikes. So whereas in youth boxing, there's a lot of blows to the head.
Yes.
I don't want my kid growing up to not remember me or Sutter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 1 minute, 24 seconds of round number 2. Referee puts a stop to this contest, declaring your winner by submission due to an armbar from Victorville, California, Roman the Gladiator Velarde. How about a big round of applause for his opponent, Luke "The Rock" Rivas. He did a great job tonight. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 6 feet even, he's an MMA style fighter. When he weighed officially at 205 pounds. Tonight, he's making his debut, representing a pinnacle MMA fight in Redlands, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rocco Sandman Perkins Cornicelli. And his opponent fighting across the cage under the red corner. He's a wrestler, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. When he weighed in officially, he weighed in at 204.8 pounds. Tonight, he enters the cage with his amateur record undefeated. 2 wins with 0 losses. Representing Cobra Kai and fighting out of Victorville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Michael Lil Mike Salazar. When the action begins, your referee in charge, John Romero.
All right, believe it or not, these are 14-year-olds you're going to be watching next at the light heavyweight, in the light heavyweight division, 205 pounds. Right there you see Rocco Perkins Cornicelli. He's fighting out of the blue corner, and the right-hand side of your screen, Michael Lil Mike Salazar. Believe it or not, just 14 years old.
Little Mike.
Michael's a national champ, and he's done a great job of doing jiu-jitsu and such. And Rocco, it's hard to find fights at this age and this weight because there's so many kids that are just at the World Championships, there was no one for Michael to compete against, so his family didn't fly out to Rome, Italy. Whereas, look at this, in the United States, we actually have a division where these kids are already competing. Wait until these guys are adults. I can't wait to watch Rocco. I hope they fight several times to become better. Because by the time they're 18, they may get signed to the UFC.
Well, with that type of experience and that type of power.
Yeah. Right now he's applying a Doris, and he's sagging on the Doris right now. Oh, there's
He got
a
him.
tap.
He got him.
Yep.
Salazar tapped him early on in the fight. He's pointing over at Big Daddy, Joe Daddy Stevenson, sitting right to my right, and he first person he point to.
His mom and dad have been through a lot, and this was for his parents. And the fact that Rocco was able to take this fight with him just speaks volumes, and I'm very excited to see them to continue on the Dars.
He's looking at you. As I say, I'm guessing you taught him that Dars. He's looking right over at you right now.
It's November. Well, I mean, in November we went over the Dars. So that was a big series that we just worked. So it's good for it to be fresh. I mean, you know, this could be any time for him to call out. When you're fighting and there's motion and all this, to be able to remember a game plan and technique, it's very difficult.
Dedicates the fight to his dad who helped him get here. And as you said, national champ, pancration, world jiu-jitsu champ.
Let's just talk about that being on your resume when you're that age. Like, hey kids at school, what did you do this weekend? Oh, I don't know, just fought for a national title, was in Rome, you know, those things. I mean, the dedication that these kids put into it and the commitment, it's got to, you and I were talking about it earlier, it's got to bleed over into every aspect of your life.
Absolutely. When I look at what I was doing when I was 14, it was not winning national championships in Italy.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 47 seconds of
Hold on
round
a
number
second.
one.
I can't.
Referee in
Hold
charge
on.
stops this contest, declaring your winner by a Doris choke out of the red corner from Victorville, California, Michael Little Mike Salazar.